Feel better.
Talking.
Get
Yeah,
out.
don't make that. Ooh, but it was fun yesterday.
Oh, a live stream.
Whoa.
Oh boy. What are you gonna do today?
I don't know. We're just gonna talk because that's what we always do anyway.
That's true. Very true. Well, guess what I'm doing, Flower?
Oh my gosh.
What is it? What you
I'm
going to do
making
with
more.
it?
I'm making more adaptables.
Oh my god, those are always the best. What is featured? A dinosaur eating a Tide Pod. Oh,
Tide,
oh.
Delicious.
Like, look at it. It's a Tide Pod plush.
Tide Pod.
Good food brings people together.
Whoa.
Oh my god, Square, why?
Whoa.
What?
I heard you. Oh wait, oh yeah. Oh, I like it. The icon is nice. I wish you could.
Your reaction. Oh,
Oh.
isn't it cute?
Yes. Was it really worth
I love it so
how much
much.
money you just got? Well, no, I'm kidding. It is. I say it's worth it.
It is. I love it so much.
So cute.
Was it one of the people
Yes.
you like a lot?
What?
Was it what?
One of the artists you like a lot?
Which one?
A artist I like a lot, but not the Toonie artist that I like a lot.
Yeah.
I like a lot of artists.
You do.
Me too.
I'd say my top 5 are Tamika, ABD Illustrates, Ross Draws. Wait, I need to count this. Tamika, ABD Illustrates.
Gets out a pen and paper.
Ross Draws, Lavender Town, and I don't know. I forgot the other one.
I forgot their names?
Yes, I forgot the last one. Swipe for
That's
Infinity War
funny.
effect. Yes.
Congratulations, you have a virus.
Yay, viruses.
I love viruses so much.
Give them hugs.
Why do I have a bunch of Fortnite memes on my Instagram? I don't even play Fortnite.
I did before the TV broke.
Does anyone know what that whole entire thing is with the Laurel and the Zanny thing or whatever?
No, I don't.
I don't get it at
I
all.
haven't seen it, and I don't want to. I refuse to take part of this. It's the stupid dress.
It's
kind of
like the dress thing. Yeah.
I have no idea what's even going
I
on.
fought Square with it.
Like, apparently some people hear one word, and while other people hear the other word, when it's like just one word being said. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, that's what it's all about?
Yeah, like how they had the dress, and like some people saw it as gold and white, and some people saw it as black and blue.
Guys, it is black and blue. I'm like, look at it online. Done with screen. Done with it.
Exactly, but it's now it's the same thing with like a word, but it's how people hear it, and it just doesn't make any sense.
It's like what's his face's cat.
Whoa.
The one in the box that you can't see, so it exists in between life and death because you can't see it. I'm like, what? Nah, that's not how.
Oh my
how
gosh, Fibs, I gotta watch this video. Because some Kingdom Hearts YouTubers, they got selected to go and play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh shoot!
They're like bug testing it, and they're coming out of the playing now, and they're gonna like give out information that they got, and I'm so excited.
So excited!
So excited!
They got screenshots and stuff, and I'm so excited.
I watched some of the gameplay, and I'm like, it's so beautiful.
I know. I haven't seen anything yet because I just want to wait for a lot of it so I can just binge.
Yes.
Excuse me, I burped.
Now, if only the TV would work, then I could get it for PS4. And if I get it for PS4, I could play it on the TV. That doesn't work.
Oh.
Why is it that none of your stuff ever works? It's like, hey,
because
you know,
life does not like me. I'm afraid to turn on my 3DS because I'm afraid life is going to be like no more 3DS for you. No more Pokemon. We're going to erase all the legendaries and mythicals that you've collected. No.
It's just
Oh,
'cause a
no.
bunch of bad stuff keeps happening.
That's why you just get an SD card. You know, simple. That's what I do.
And then it all burns in a fire.
And then it
Yes.
all burns in a fire.
I love fire.
Fire is very
As
warm.
do I. But
You're like,
not in
No.
that.
like, oh.
Guys, wait. I forgot what I was
What?
gonna say.
Fire
I
indeed
remember
hot.
now.
Okay.
Poop. I forgot again.
The prophecy will help. Ah, fire
Oh,
indeed
I remember
hot.
now. I'm almost done with the prologue of my webtoon.
Ooh.
Like
Definitely
that.
send link.
Yes.
Yes. A link to my webtoon.
Yes, when it's done.
Awesome.
For the prologue.
Look at
It's
this art.
awesome.
Whoa. No,
Well, what?
I will send a picture.
Oh, okay. Resize
Good.
canvas to
What in the
800 by
world?
1280. 800 by 1280. That's
Huh?
and there we go.
Oh
wait.
I don't know.
Amaryllis, I'll send the thing. What's it called?
They just kind of shared it.
The watercolor painting I did for my webtoon. It's super cool.
Yes.
Uber cool. Whoa! Who's ever purple?
Oh, wait. There's a.
It's pretty.
Oh, I can't even read the watermark in the bottom corner. I'm sad.
Purple nubs.
Purple nubs.
Someone cut off their hands.
It's
I
so
love-
well done, though.
Okay, I just now. Wait, did it go? Father. Yes.
I want to find the.
There it is.
what's-
I just sent my watercolor painting to the chat thingy, not in the YouTube.
Shoot, yes. Yes!
So that's my webtoon. I didn't get a chance to fully explain what the story is about. So
Oh,
Please.
wait,
in the
okay,
world I
artist-
made,
Wait, the artist is.
Is me.
Imalu Art at Imalu Art. Super cool. Okay, I will share that link because the thing. Okay.
I'm amazed.
Okay,
Next
I'm done.
in.
Okay, I'm done.
Thank you. Anyways, so basically, the story of it's super cool. So imagine what would happen if Zelda, Legend of Zelda, sort of that world was in modern times with Spirited Away.
So cell phones.
Yes, but it's cool because there are things where it's like, oh hey, you dingle, how's it going? I like your elf ears, and I like your orc nose. I want a taco,
I want
something like that.
to see this.
I want a taco. I like how I
But,
immediately went to that.
I know, right? And so basically, there's this kid. His name is Orville, and the reason why I named him Orville was because that's a cool name. I didn't want it to be
Yes.
something lame
Like
where
the
it's like,
popcorn
yeah, exactly.
Ooh, art.
So
pops out there.
exactly, and so so Orville is like a descendant, or just kind of like what's it called? It's like a genetic thing passed down from generation to generation, and he is in the bloodline of this king who was and put it in lesser terms, a wizard warlord, awesome man.
Mhm.
Yes, indeed. And he was killed in battle by the antagonist, King Darkness, and that's not his real name. They just call him that because he's a dude who dresses in black, and in the watercolor painting, he's the dude dressed in
It's
black.
so pretty.
Thank you.
Those
I'm getting.
watercolors, though.
I added it to my illustration portfolio, so that way when I go to International Portfolio Day, they'll be like, "Hey, that's pretty good."
It is
They
pretty
have
good.
that?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. It's in Albuquerque.
Ooh-wee.
And it's super cool because then all the art colleges, all the best art colleges in America, even one from Paris, not lying. I thought it was Paris, Texas. Nope, it's Paris. And I was like, I'm not going to go there because I don't want to actually sign my soul to the devil just to go to school in
Nah.
Paris. So I appreciate the thought, but no, thank you. Cute little anecdote. But yeah, so yes. So basically,
Yeah, they go and look at like all these people's art, like all these big like art colleges, and like you have a chance to get like a scholarship or something there, and they just look at your whole portfolio right there instead of you having to go to them all the
Mhm.
way around the world. It's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
you get to just like meet a bunch of really cool like artists there and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a really cool thing. And
I
plus,
had a chance to
some of
go,
the
but I didn't go.
colleges, I went there last. I went last, or no, I went during
Oh,
Christmas
oh,
break, the
hold on.
previous one.
Nice.
Since we're talking about college, I have a college story to tell.
Story
Ooh,
time.
Yeah.
story time.
Okay, story time.
Story time.
See if I can
The
find-
girl was about to tell her story about college, but she
Yes, I
forgot what
did.
she was about to say.
No, I didn't.
Oh no.
She moved on.
Did you?
Nook was there when I did the thing. Okay, yeah. So we went to go follow some.
I just loved how that started. We
No,
went to
no,
go
no,
follow someone.
no. It's because I'm doing it wrong. So Nook came over here during the summer. Spent what, a month here?
I don't know.
Couple days.
You tell me.
Till
I'm asking you.
till what?
The summer you came here.
Oh yeah, it was like
Was it in? Wait,
2
was it
weeks.
summer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was in
was.
August or so.
Oh yeah,
2 or
I
3
remember
weeks.
now. And we had that thing where you came over to Christian's house, and then Drake kept on spamming Samus. And we're like, Drake, you either stop spamming or leave. And he's like, I shall not leave. And it's just like.
Still beat 'em. I still
But
beat 'em.
now, my main OG character is Kid Icarus. So I'm
Mine is still Cloud.
no DLC characters allowed, sir. Only
Fine,
the originals.
Oh,
There we go.
Ike
Okay,
Link,
sorry,
which
Amaryllis.
is
Back to your story.
I am
It's
offended.
okay. I'm blanking out. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Don't worry about it. It happens.
Oh, I have sweet bread here. Nook will tell a story about what happened when he was here. Then
What?
tell the story about what he did when he was here.
Don't drop the microphone into the water.
Why do I need to tell the story?
Oh, I burped.
Why do I need to tell the story when they were all basically there?
I wasn't there.
Yeah, Pup wasn't
Oh my God. So here I was just here in my car that worked
I was a
back
Chevrolet
there,
hiding in the bushes.
and I was like, oh, I gotta get my butt down to Texas. So I was like, I'm getting the car ready. So I got all the stuff in my backpack. I told my
JD.
chillins, I told her, I was like, you gotta get out of
JD.
here. Otherwise, we ain't gonna get to Texas to see all our friendos. And they're
JD.
like, we gonna go see them.
JD.
Hmm.
You sound like the creepy old man from Family Guy.
Oh,
Yeah, I was like.
I was trying to sound like that lady who's like, there was a fire.
So
I
you're
was
trying to sound like my mom.
not
No, you sound like that creepy old
today."
guy.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
I don't
about
even watch
that.
Family Guy, so
Wow.
But yes, I was like, I'm just gonna tell you now, so that way you won't watch back and be like, oh dang, I sound kind of oof. So yes, I'm telling you as your bro.
as your friends.
Yes. Anyways, continue with your story. How you were like, I gotta get down to Texas,
I
y'all.
gotta get down to Texas. I gotta get down to Texas now. And if I don't, I'm probably gonna explode or something like that. So what I did, I was like, I'm gonna pack up all my things. I got a backpack that can hold like 3 weeks worth of clothing inside of it and a laptop. So I'm gonna go do that. So I did, and I
Your
got my.
Windows 7 laptop.
Why do I have to tell that story instead?
Because it's cute.
It's over my bedtime. No, I'm joking. I'm nocturnal. Ha! Joke's on you. So, anyways, so here we are. Traveling back in time.
No. You gotta get that. Gotta get that. Boom, boom, boom.
Anyways,
Okay.
she's tired.
Oh,
So
I'm
we're traveling
tired.
back
I'm
in time
dead.
now. Back about I think 2 years ago now, almost 3. Yeah, 3 years ago now. Over in August, 3 years ago. So what happens is here we are. I'm like, okay, so I would love to be able to go back to El Paso. I'm talking to Amaryllis on the phone while I'm over there in Georgia. And then she's like, "Oh yeah, your mom. My mom's like, hey, we could probably go over to all these other places,
Because I was
and
looking at college.
JD can come with." And I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah, let's go do that." And so how am I gonna get down? Well, my mom already basically paid for your plane ticket here. I'm like, wait, what? Wow. Okay. I'm going to Texas. So, I packed up all my stuff that I had inside of my
First
backpack.
time riding a plane.
I have this yellow backpack that I usually brought to dueling places over there in Georgia. It was like once a month tournaments and stuff. But I could fit my entire Yu-Gi-Oh collection inside my backpack, which is saying something considering the fact that most Yu-Gi-Oh players can only fit like a third of their collection inside of a backpack like that. But anyways, um,
It's your
so
silence.
so what happens is I pack all my clothes, like 3, 4 pairs of pants, all this other stuff, t-shirts, socks, all this other junk, including all my electronics, which is my 3DS, my PSP, my laptop, some of my Yu-Gi-Oh stuff,
Just
all
everything.
inside of this tiny yellow backpack. So I'm pretty sure, the song that would best describe it was "We all live in a yellow
Yellow
submarine,
submarine.
a yellow submarine,
Green.
a yellow submarine." So,
Re.
um,
I can't even rewrite anymore.
so anyways, I hop over there to
Hop.
it's like a 3-hour ride from where we lived in Georgia all the way over to the nearest airport that literally does those kind of airport things. So we drive all the way over about 3 or 4 hours in the morning traffic all the way to Atlanta. Oh,
Wow.
like God, or Augusta,
Oh, and
sorry.
it's the Atlanta airport too. Oh,
The
fun.
the Augusta, sorry. It was the Augusta airport.
Oh, okay.
Am I
I was
saying
gonna
it
say
right?
like, oh man, it's gotta be a
Okay, yeah.
nightmare.
It was either the Atlanta because it had a tram. Yeah, it was the Atlanta. So, anyways, we drive all the way to Atlanta. It's a 5-hour ride. Wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Here we head off. I got my backpack. That's all I have. I don't have any other luggage. And so here I am alone in the airport. I'm just like, okay, I guess I just gotta trek forward. Being an independent 20-year-old adult, I gotta. What's that sign say? Oh
Adult.
yeah, move,
Unaccompanied minor.
move this place. So move to this place over here if you want to get on this plane. Okay, I guess that's my ticket. So I go over there, all the way over. It's 10 o'clock now, or something like that. It's like some sort of time shift happened. So it's early in the morning. Okay, and I'm at the Atlanta airport, and I come to this one point where it's the shuttle, the train that leads to other parts of the
The
airport.
shuttle.
Freaking huge airport, and I'm like, oh my gosh, where do I go? Because this train leaves to a certain area that says train leaving now to section C. I'm like, oh crap. The door's about to close. I'm like, do I get on here? Is it somewhere further on? You know what? Screw it. So I hop onto the train. It's like a 50-50 chance that I was getting to where I needed to go. So I was just on here. I'm like, man, I hope I'm going right. And that thing took off, man. This train went from like 0 to like 75 or 80 in seconds. I was like, whoa! Felt like going through hyperspace or something like that. It was pretty fun.
Ooh.
So then I go over across this turn and it's smooth. The whole train is smooth, but you can't see anything because it's all inside for some reason. And there's like this faint glimpse of light and then it's all dark again. I'm like, geez. And so I go into the area. It says you are now arriving at platform C. I'm like, okay, so go to gate C. Something. Okay, it makes more sense now. So I was supposed to take the train. Thank goodness. So I go over and try and find the gate that I'm supposed to go to. Right. So I go find the gate. There's this huge line onto the gate. I was like, oh, geez. So I go over there, show my ticket finally after like an hour wait in line. And then I get onto the plane, right? So I have this piece of chewing gum that I've been chewing for like an hour. And my dad's like, it'll just help you out with, ear popping your ears when you get in, higher altitudes, right? So what I found out was do not chew gum while you're getting onto the plane and the
Oh,
plane's
dear.
getting ready to take off. Instead, chew the gum after the plane has already taken off. The reason being is as you're there waiting on that line, that runway line, the cabin is pressurizing, increasing or decreasing the air pressure slowly.
Oh,
It's really weird. It's either increasing or decreasing because my gum was turning into sand in my mouth.
oh my
Oh.
gosh.
It was weird, and it was a fruity gum. But after it was done, it was just minty, plasticky
That's the
flavored
fun part, though.
powder. I was like, ugh. So I had to swallow it because there's nothing I could like spit into or
Yeah.
anything. So I was one of the lucky ones that was just able to, throw my bag up into the luggage rack up above, and sit. That was about it. I was just waiting there. So as I was like, man, it feels like the pressure's getting greater in here because I have my bones. My bones are basically like barometers. They're able to check atmospheric pressure. And so I was like, man, something's up. And all the while, I'm feeling my gum liquefy into my mouth. I'm like, ugh. So it turns into this like gooey liquid, and then it turns into like powder. I was like, oh, ugh, ugh. It was disgusting. So I finally swallow it, and the plane starts moving. Right. So it goes up all the way off. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
You could feel all the G-force, and it was a smaller commercial airline. So it was it was a 720, 727. It was like
When you
there's
say commercial, what kind of commercial?
uh,
Tide or dish detergent?
I'm talking Eastern Airlines. So yeah. So what happened is I who is breathing into their microphone? Murphy, sleep.
Murphy, did you fall asleep?
No,
Oh.
it is. I think I'm getting the thing back. Never mind. No, it's 7 a.m. and I'm awake.
No, you're nodding off.
What?
You're like nodding off. That's like you're kind of falling asleep, but you're not.
Nah,
Nah,
Sure about
bruh.
that.
I'm woke.
Nah, bruh. Anywho.
It's okay though. Nook literally has that thing where he makes people
Yeah,
fall
for
asleep.
some reason I can be talking like really excited or something like that, and it doesn't matter if it's somewhat late. Someone is gonna fall asleep while I'm talking. It's weird. It's just being a Tanuki. If you're a Tanuki, you know
Oh,
this.
Okay,
That your
wait,
voice naturally sends people to sleep for some weird reason.
side note. Speaking of Tanukis, one of the main characters in I Am Orville, my webtoon, is a Tanuki spirit,
Yes.
and he guides the main character through his journey.
I found out the other day that Tanukis are connected to the moon, and I was like, what? in the
Yes,
world?
Tanukis are. Okay, so in Japan, there's different types of natures, right? So your nature, your spiritual nature, could be connected to the earth, or it could be connected to nature itself as like a
All I
circle
think
of
about
life
is
or death.
Avatar. Earth,
Seriously,
wind,
seriously,
water,
this is literally
fire.
like
It
Japanese
was all going
philosophy,
well
all
until
these other
the
things.
Fire Nation attacked.
And then and so then you have two different kinds of things. You have heaven and earth,
I thought you were
which
literally about to
are
go back. You have heaven and hell, and I was like, that escalated very quickly.
no. So you have heaven and earth, which are two
Hell.
different attributes that somebody can have. And then you have celestial, and then you have lunar. But they don't really have a solar. I mean, more or less. It's basically celestial if it's solar. So Kitsune were basically bumped up. The nine-tailed foxes. They were bumped up in the hierarchy, more or less, of.
Well, which tail are we talking about? Tail with the ALE or AIL?
Matthew, don't even.
I'm still salty about that. I don't like
I am
it.
too. I am as well.
Wait, what happened?
The thing where we were trying to guess the words, and we're like nine tails, all these different versions of nine tails. And we're like, man, it's so close. What's wrong with it? It's just tails, as in a story. I'm like, dang it.
I'm
Anyways,
like, that doesn't
so
make any sense.
so
Amaryllis, stop it. I see you
triggered.
typing.
So anyway,
Okay.
so Kitsune were basically bumped up, so celestial nature spirits. In- and some of them are connected to the moon, but those are lesser nine tails, and they're not actually nine tailed. They're actually like three or four. It just depends, you know. And so Tanukis, before the whole Buddhist uprising and you know the whole statues of pedo face Tanukis, yeah, they look like they're you know ready to do something. Or so anyways, the original Tanuki spirits, the original yokai that Tanukis were, they were actually linked to because they come down and you'd be able to see them more often during full moons. You just see them out in the fields, in the bean fields or the rice fields, and they're just walking around. You know, you see all these little lumps in the moonlight, and you're like, "What are these things?" You go out into the rice fields and you see all these tanukis just look up at you like, "Sup, bro?"
Hey, bruh.
Really?
How's it going, bruh?
That's how they were way back.
It's like, what's up, bruh? How you doing, bruh? You doing good, bruh?
And uh, so it was just kind of funny, but uh, a lot of the times the Yankee spirits were true neutrals, which is something to say in Japanese mythology. Even the really old were true neutrals, and they were always basically doing good. It was just the internet.
Yeah, I hear you lagging.
Yeah, it's
Really?
like slightly a bit lagging. Like you would be
Yeah.
talking and be like, that it is
Wow.
Tanuki.
Tanuki.
No, no ocean breeze.
Anywho, so Tanuki
Okay, you're good now.
were actually in Japanese legend. Usually they had like some sort of ability to make people sleep. It was kind of like they just bring relaxation and whatever. Even during the midday, if a
It's
Tanuki
free real
came out,
estate.
oftentimes you would just fall asleep on a tree talking to a Tanuki or something like that. Talk to you. It would put. So yeah, I didn't find. I think it's just kind of funny how I picked this character. Originally, I drew my character Jay but he never had the full raccoon mask.
I remember.
He was in the
Yeah,
Sonic.
you were a Sonic character.
He was in the Sonic character, because I liked Sonic X, the actually good Sonic in the franchise, Sonic X. Not the not the yes. Rolling in its speed of sound, fast as you hung around. Got ourselves a situation, stuck in a new location without any explanation. No time for relaxation. Go, 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 go fast. Go fast. Just go, 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 go. All those. Anyways.
Sonic number one.
You have your microphone mute. Thank God. Anyways, so as we were at the airport or on the plane, as I was on the plane, I was the only one on the plane, and I stop over in San Antonio to switch flights, right? And it's an hour long wait to switch over to the next flight. I was like, dang. So I finally, I was finally able to.
Shut up! Oh my god. Sorry, I'm getting so many notifications and I'm like, be quiet.
Is it from Skype?
Yes. I'm like,
Yes,
shut
everybody's just saying yes, 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 yes.
up.
Okay.
You will be silent right now.
You'll never be.
Yes,
Why are you muted? And she goes, I will never be silent.
better be.
Anywho, so I'm over in San Antonio and I'm just like
I'm
waiting,
waiting for
just waiting. And then finally, they get it done and they're like, all right, plane's gonna take off. I'm like, yes. So I go over. And so I get on the plane and there's these people that just talk. So I'm just talking to them, just being nice. And and their little kid falls asleep right there on the chair. It's hilarious.
Oh,
And in the middle of a whatever. And so I finally see El Paso from the plane. I'm like, wow, it looks better from the ground. And so I land, and I get off the plane, and I come down the escalator, and Amaryllis is just berserk at that point. She's just going crazy. She wants to hug me. She doesn't want to hug me. She wants to scree, but she doesn't want to scree. She wants to, do whatever. She just wants to, just spend more time or whatnot. And so she says, I don't want to hug you. I'm scared. I'm like, why are you scared to hug me? Oh my gosh. She just glumps and then she doesn't let go after that. I'm like, oh, wow. So I stay here for about 2-3 weeks, right? And all the while, we're, hanging out with friends, going to the zoo, having all this cool times, and just catching up. And then we go to, what is it, the City of Rocks over in, was it New Mexico?
I don't know where it is.
It's somewhere. And it was pretty interesting. And then we go and check out, what was it? We spent a week doing something else. I forget what it was. But anyways, so we were just going back and forth, constantly busy. It was really weird because I'm basically never busy. I just have kind of like a schedule that I go to, and that's about it. And so then, over here in El Paso, they're like, well, 2-3 weeks is up, so we're gonna go and check out Georgia now. I'm like, oh wow, that really, really, really quick. And so we go over to Georgia, and we're going basically over there to check out some of the stuff that they had over there, like colleges, college wise. And so we go over to Georgia and we check out, what was it? Full Sail University over in Florida. Oh, that's where your story
Yeah.
begins. And so I had to go through all of that just so that you can say, JD, tell me that story.
Yes.
Ah,
No, but we're not done.
okay.
Okay, so since you're looking for art colleges and any other person who's been watching this long, I haven't seen. Okay. Okay. Um, it's because I don't want the doubts to be stolen from like me just checking on the Skype because uh my tablet's charged. But
your tablet is charging?
it's because I have Skype on my tablet, and I'm also
Oh,
on my phone. Uh, Fine, I'll go look real quick. You can tell the story then. Nook. I'm sorry.
What's the main point before you go,
Oh
please?
wait, no, I can do the extendy thingy because magic and science. Wow.
Science?
I have a very long cord for my headphones.
Magic.
Okay.
It's all tangled though.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the notifications won't be quiet.
Are you sure they can hear you?
Hear me?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
I
there
can
you
hear you now.
go.
Okay. So when you go to art universities, you gotta make sure that you. I think it's like a good idea if you can to go visit the universities in person, because then that way you can get a better viewpoint or opinion or whatever it is off of them. And what happened is, I had seen advertisements and things all over for Full Sail University, and I was pretty excited for it to go look at it because I had done research and I wanted to go into writing and maybe storyboarding or animation or something to do with arts. But I knew
Oh,
for sure I wanted to do writing. So we went there, and I remember we were rushing to get there, and we got there what, like 30 minutes late or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay. And then um hold up, okay. When we got there, I think they were at the music department and everything, and they have their own little studios, and I'm like, it's cool and everything, but like I went there and then like they show you their filming studio and how they have all these sets and props. I'm like, that's cool, but like, where's the thing for my degree plan that I'm signing up for? And they had labs and computers, for animations, but they, I think in the over the course of 2 years, yeah, of 2 years, they get you your degree, but you don't really have experience, and
Good
it's
night,
very
Art.
difficult to actually like find a
oof.
job right after doing that. It's not a reliable school either because when you go there, say you want to apply there, there are no dorms. You have to like rent out an apartment there in that area, which was already pretty scary sounding because I mean, you're going to some new place and then you're like, oh, you got to go here and you got to get an apartment, and then from that apartment and from somewhere around there, you got to be able to get transportation from that apartment to that college, and you still got to pay for food and transportation and your supplies and where are you gonna go get the supplies at the stores and that whole kind of thing. And I was like, oof, that is not good at all.
Oof.
So
I just now finished another page of the prologue, guys.
yes,
I don't want to show you because it'll be too much of spoilers.
it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm gonna show it anyways because I'm really excited.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna show it.
Ah, I'm not gonna look at it.
Well, it's
Well, I
not really
won't show
that
it on the live
much.
stream, but oh well.
Well, it's not really that much of a spoiler. But
Yes, it is because it's supposed to be a secret.
hey,
You can zoom
guys,
in to like a face or zoom into a rock and send it to us. Like, here, you guys get to
here we
witness the
go.
first rock in this comic.
Someone's asleep.
Who's asleep? Look at that face. Super cool.
Ooh,
Cool.
I did a
ooh.
sign. Oh, good night, heart.
Good night, heart.
Who is that?
Who is
I
who?
don't know.
Night.
That character? Not that
He
character.
is a character.
That looks freaking cool.
This is King Maho.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Why?
And what's that right there? Is that a text box? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
Check it out.
oof. What is this mysterious thing called
It's
a text box? Ooh, woo. What's this? No. I had to.
You know what I realized?
Hmm.
That mustache style is very similar to the one I had.
Whoa.
What?
Whoa, zooms in.
Look at
Right.
all of these panels that I have. I even have a filler panel because apparently on Webtoon, if you have all of your like panels with the drawings on them, it's like speed reading. It's just like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I fell into a hole and there are monsters inside. Now I have to climb back up with this girl that I met, and oh my gosh, now we're all dying. There's a rocket up, But if you don't add in the blank fillers where it's just the background, it's very like you're already finishing like 2 pages at once. So I had to create a filler, which is literally just darkness.
Nice.
This is it.
Ooh, that's my
Feast your
favorite
eyes.
one.
I know. But I also so I already told you guys that there was a war, so this isn't a spoiler. Like this is literally just part of the story. But here's the first panel that you see.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yas. It's pretty
Wait,
neat
wait, wait,
though.
wait, wait, wait. The word began.
Yeah.
Is it correct?
Yes. Yeah, it began.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I
all
thought
good.
it said Beagan. I'm like, what
Oh
is
no.
wrong?
I made sure I spell checked
Oh,
everything.
that third panel screech. It looks so good.
Gracias. And we also got this one,
Screech.
which just shows more death in this one. Wait, no, open. Says me. There we go.
Ooh.
It's a bit bloody, but that's okay. Oh,
What?
webtoon.
No, it's ketchup. What's wrong with you? Haven't you learned anything from Flipnote?
And then this is the
Nutrition.
this is gonna be
Make
the
it blue.
thumbnail for each episode. And since it's so small, oh poop! This since it's so small, it has to be like that, or else it'll just like not fit. But
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's cool.
strange.
It's the sword. It's super cool, uber cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's that one. Aww.
It's
So
gonna be
here we
awesome.
go. And I figured
Yeah.
out how you can make the oh my gosh! I figured out how you can make the template of a comic page in here for Webtoon. So you just
Really?
go here. Yeah. So basically, well, it's because for Webtoon it has to be 800 by 1280, and
Yeah.
already it's like super big. But let's say it's like, oh, I want to change it. Basically, you just go to resize canvas, 800 by poop by 1280, 1280, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no, what about my panels? Aha! Go to the mask layer. Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh, I
Fancy.
figured this out and it was so awesome. And now you can just make a panel. Isn't that so exciting?
Wait, so did it get bigger or smaller? Like
It
a
got
little bit.
smaller so it can fit on like a mobile device or something. And it's super
Oh.
cool. Yeah, it's like super cool.
I see now.
And then now it's just a blank comic template, but then you can go back to
What
masking
the world? Why
and
is this
then
open?
make more.
Oh no.
It's so fantastic.
Wait, I think my
Yeah.
movie editor thing is opening. Why?
Whoa.
Yeah, I just like your background a lot too. It's super cool.
I love it too. Wait, I want to check my. Oh, I was watching my speed paint. Not gonna
Mhm.
lie,
Super cool.
uber cool.
Huh.
You
Oh, I
see
got
my
it.
like?
D&D maps. Ooh.
Oh, it's because this is gonna be my next commission. My friend asked me
Oh.
to draw him a Dungeons and Dragons map.
I'm
D&D maps,
trying
whatever.
That was
to.
cool.
Well, because I was gonna change the. What's it called?
Literally mood.
Okay. I was okay. Icon. I was like that little thing in the square. That I was gonna change the little icon. And then
Oh my
oh
gosh.
no, I got rid of my preview.
Look at Logan's face.
Oh, why? So I was what is it? I keep thinking your Skype is my like Google. Okay. I'm looking for the dimensions for the YouTube icon
Uh-huh.
because I made an icon and I'm putting it for all my social media accounts, like a little
Oh, you
logo.
mean your banner?
No, not banner. Well, I am wondering what the dimensions are for that one, but for the icon because I made one, but like when I went to go like upload it, it only like does this very small square, and it won't
Oh,
let
at
me
like the
like do
bottom
it.
right corner or something?
Yeah, you see where Maxton is, and you see how you changed your icon, little
Yeah.
circle. Yeah, it it wouldn't let me like upload the one I wanted to. See, I drew that, it
Why?
would just zoom into like the neck.
The neck.
Yeah,
Wait,
like
I think there's like an
for
option where
yours,
you can like
it would
edit
just zoom
what
into the
you
neck.
want
I'm
to
like,
see.
why is this happening? Wait, help.
Ambrose, look at how
Why?
my style has changed. I went from this to this.
Yes,
Hold on, let me see.
it's the best style change.
Hold,
No, I'm kidding. I didn't
hold on.
open my movie editor software. Why is this
Oh yeah.
happening?
Oh, excuse me. I noticed that this one, my Scott Pilgrim speed paint, that's like my most popular, I think.
Well, because
Yeah.
people like Scott Pilgrim, so they're gonna be looking for stuff
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
want to see.
I didn't realize it, but my mom printed out this print and now it's hanging on my wall and it looks so professional. I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna watch it.
When did
I'm
you
actually
print it
really
out?
good at this. She did, and she didn't even tell me because she was printing out a what's it called? My Mother's Day gift to her. No, her birthday gift that I made
Oh,
for her. And
my Mother's Day gift
so
to her.
in the
Wait,
meantime,
what?
she was like, I want to print out something masking drew so he can hang up on his wall. And I was like, okay. And then she did,
Oh,
and now
okay.
it's on my wall.
Sweetness.
We're here to make you think about death, get sad and stuff. Do-do-do-dun-do-do-do-dun-dun-dun. I love watching it. I'm so proud of it. I love it.
I'm so tired. Why am I so? Oh, it's 11:32.
I know.
That
Speaking
makes
of which,
kind of sense.
wait, did I like it? Okay, yeah, I did. Let's
Do
see
you
here.
like your own videos? Noob. No, I'm kidding.
This is the only one that I liked because I was actually extremely proud of it because I just really liked how it was in time with the music and stuff. And
Yes.
I now notice that if I crop out what everything's happening, I write. I know grammar, people. um, it looks just a little bit more cool because I notice that sometimes people they like to see what you're drawing instead of what you're drawing with. So that's what I do. Because since Krita, it's like so busy looking, it's very
Yeah.
like distracting.
Yeah.
So I decided to just crop everything out. Hi Krita.
Good
How you
call.
It was just easier on myself because then it's not like, oh my gosh, because unless you have something like Paint Tool Sai or Autodesk Sketchbook, then people are like, oh, what tools do you use? But if you're using something as like Krita, it's very like distracting where it's like they're using so much stuff. So
I
yeah.
could never draw like that. Yeah.
Someday you
What?
could. With practice, perseverance, and magic, you can do it. By the way, I'm so confused. Like, there's this one movie, I'm not sure if it's a Ghibli film or not, but it's called Children Who Chase Lost Voices. And I'm like, is it a Ghibli film or not? Because it looks like it.
Why is it changing?
I don't know. Don't yell at me. Because look,
No,
hold on
I'm
a second.
trying to
Let's
like
look.
change the dimensions, but it's like, no, let me
No,
change the
you're
other
yelling at
bottom
me.
one
No,
when I talk.
no,
Change
you're
the top
yelling
one
at
too.
me. Admit it. You were
I fixed
yelling.
it.
Look, this looks like a Ghibli movie, doesn't it? Like, I'm so confused. Is it a Ghibli movie or not? Let's see here.
I
Okay,
tried.
Children Chase Lost Voices. Director Makoto Shinkai. Okay,
Children who
7.2 out of 10. And by the way,
it
I'm just gonna
isn't.
be
It
honest, right?
doesn't. Well, it looks reminiscent, but I don't think it is entirely.
Yeah, I think it's probably the people who are saying he's the next Hayao Miyazaki, and I'm like, that's debatable, but whatever.
Maybe. I don't know.
I have no
Because I
idea
mean, it's a
either.
whole team. It's not just one person.
Yeah, and by
Other
the way,
people.
this movie is
So that's
condoning
where. Okay,
war.
wait. Well, the one right next to it. The one right next to the image you clicked, where they're like
This, by the way, this movie is condoning vor. I don't like it.
condoning.
Vor.
No, stop.
Look at this. It's vor.
No, okay, that one right next to it. That one where they're standing in the field with the clouds.
Yes.
That one. I've seen that one in so many like Nightcore videos when I was
Nightcore
younger.
videos.
Yeah, that's like, where's that
Night.
from? And no one knew where it was from, and then now we know all these years later.
No, we know.
I feel
But I
old
think this
because
might be
Nightcore is old,
produced
and
by
I
Studio
I
Ghibli because
okay,
Studio
I
Ghibli they
found
don't
out I had a
manufacture
playlist of it,
films.
and I was like, what even is this?
Wait, Emrys, you know what I think? I think this movie was like Studio Ghibli had a part in making it, but they didn't produce it
Oh, that's true.
because they no longer make movies. Because every time I see this, I'm like, this is a very Ghibli movie. I mean, look at the way they draw adults, like and look at how they draw people in their hair, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that is Ghibli.
Ghibli,
And just look at the
Ghibli.
colors. That is Ghibli in some form or fashion. Ow.
I went too
So
far.
is Ghibli.
I forget that you can do that with your microphone.
That literally almost made me crap myself. That was terrifying.
I'm tired, but I want to draw. I need help.
Well,
Why is
I
there a
actually
cat?
have to get up early tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to tune out early.
Oh, so around this
know.
time now then.
Yeah, I know. Sad face.
It's okay
But
though.
adios, guys. I shall see you later.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Be safe. Yee.
I'll do
Square.
one left.
Wait, what do you mean do a sleep? No. I am adult. I can
Yes.
not do a slip. Do a. Did you see? I cannot do a flip.
Uh, yesterday I went on a roller coaster
A
for the
roller
first
coaster.
time.
Really?
It was flipping awesome. With flipping, I mean literally flipping.
That's scary.
It's awesome.
No. I refuse
God, it was so
to
fun.
go to sleep. That's pretty cool though. Yeah, roller coasters are pretty spooky. They do a
Uh,
great spook.
one of them was taunting you. It went 50 meters up, and then it went to the edge, and it was a 90-degree drop, and it just
Oh
went there, stopped, and was like taunting you.
no, I die. I would die.
It's just
So
like
so I
you're
Nook one
stupid
of
for doing
Nook's
this, and then it drops you.
what is it? Dreams or I don't know, dream, but like something you'd like to accomplish in life. Does that count as a dream? Goals? Is to go to Disneyland.
Aspirations?
Yeah, is to go to Disneyland. Disney
We
World.
went to we went to Gardaland, just to
Garden Land.
Dragon with multiple friends,
That sounds pretty
and
cool. It sounds cooler than Disney World. Why? Because there's just a bunch of roller coasters there and stuff that I cannot ride.
it has more rides, I guess. Oh,
No, don't you
there
dare
was
tell me that you got an update for me. Windows?
one thing that happened. This was in Italy, right? We went to Italy,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
So you're going on a trip around like
yeah,
Europe
I
or
went on
something?
a trip yesterday from like in the morning, 1 in the morning to 11 at night. Um, that was a trip we had to Italy. It was a 6-hour ride there and back.
Why so much?
It was so goddamn boring. We had multiple people on the bus, right? And I had friends with me in the back, so it was just and there were like classes and stuff. It was like a school field trip in a way, but when we got there, we could go around by ourselves.
Hmm.
And we got shirts that match. So every class has their shirt. So we had like, the elements you have like the like how they mark helium
Boron.
and stuff, and that stuff. We had Genius written on our shirt.
Yeah.
Another class had Thomas the Tank Engine on their shirt. I
Why
don't know what.
though?
Don't ask.
How did
Don't
they
ask.
even like convince the teacher to have Thomas the Tank Engine as their like
What the teacher, their teacher, at least I think it's their teacher, is one of the awesomest teachers in our school because he went on all the rides, all the
really?
big rides, and when he came down, he was like, "You have to go in the first row on this ride." It was like the 50-meter drop. He's like, "That's the shit."
Oh,
We're like, "Okay, sure."
wow.
He actually said that and was that he's such a good guy. There was another ride
Is he a
that
good
made my
boy?
head hurt, but not because of the twists
No,
and
that sounds
turns.
really strange. Calling a teacher a good boy. What do you think, Nook?
It's just like coming up to a freaking teacher and you like pat him on the head. Like he's like 2 feet taller than you, and you just go on your tippy toes and pat him on the
No,
head and
he's
you go,
not.
"Good boy."
He's not
Seriously.
two
I
feet
mean,
taller.
it just sounds really
You're a
weird
good
to me.
adult. Good adult. You did an adult right. You get a pet. Pat, pat.
He also doesn't have hair.
Oof. It's like Tama. Pat his head.
So it's shine bright like a diamond.
Yes.
But yeah, they had multiple teams around the park. So they had a place where it was like the Wild West. Then they had a place where it was Egypt. Then they had like space and stuff. That's where the 50-meter drop was. They had like um if you imagine like Atlantis, they had water slides and stuff like that. So it was really fun. It was a good time. But this one was a blue tornado. You went up. It was absolutely terrifying. The first thing you saw when you came in was that thing. But after going on all the scary rides, I was just like, okay, sure, I'll go on this one. I went on it, but my head hurt not because of the twists and turns and the G forces, but because the ride didn't have anything to secure your head, so you were just banging your head left and right, so your head ended up hurting more from that than actually spinning around. So that was fun. Yeah,
Sounds like it.
it was just a good time,
Yeah.
as they're meant to be.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I can't ride roller coasters because I get pretty bad motion sickness and anxiety already. So that's
I
not good.
was actually surprised that I didn't throw up any of the times
Well, like
because
it's
it,
if
it
you
doesn't spin
eat,
you around.
yeah.
For me, spinning and being in a car for multiple hours is absolutely terrible. I cannot, I can't manage if there's a lot of turns on
Hmm.
the way to a place. So it's just like, what? I'm gonna puke. I don't puke, but it's like I'm gonna
You
if
feel nauseous.
these cars don't stop. Yeah, but when I
Are
go
you?
on a roller coaster, for some reason I don't feel sick. Why? Explain, body. Explain yourself.
Hmm.
Ooh, there was another ride I'm disappointed I didn't go on. People said it was the funnest ride. It was called the Raptor. You went up and it went through like they said a forest because it was like Jurassic World themed, right?
Well, that's kind of cool.
Um, yeah, it was really cool. I just went in because the entrance looked cool, and it was really cool. It was just like a door, and on the side was like caution, and just like electric fence, and then warning, restricted area, and stuff like that. It was really cool. But I didn't go on it because I didn't find the time we had to go. Even though I had
No,
5 hours, even though I had 5 hours, I went on all the rides except that one.
Wow.
jeez.
It was sad, but it's okay because
At least you got to see it.
it
That's pretty
was fun
cool.
anyway.
I forget that your ears are like rounded and not pointy. Ugh, I'm so tired.
Wow.
Yeah, and then apparently I've been doing a design mistake with Nook for a very long time now, with like the ears, and he didn't point it out to me until like this month, and I'm like, what about all the art though? Sad, but
Just
it's
fixed
okay.
years.
But I think it's probably right. I cannot draw right now. Why can I not draw? I'm sad. It's just being really derpy. But I want to draw, but I cannot draw. What is this?
Are you too tired to draw, or is it just a thing?
That and then like I haven't. I'm not used to using Krita. I'm used to using what's it called? Uh, Paint.net. That's the one I'm used to using with my tablet. What? I don't want to see.
How much different could it be?
Oh well, one I need to update the drivers on my drawing tablet because it doesn't register when I turn it around like an eraser and a pen and the amount of pressure I
Heck,
put down. It still needs, so I'll start off light and then I'll go darker, but it's not registering it at all right here. So I mean on Paint.net it doesn't do that at all, but um
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's also time to go to sleep. It's almost 12 for me, and today was just a long day. I think Nook is also pretty tired. Huh?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Heck. Well, I have another funny story
You
from
do?
yesterday.
What happened?
I mean, it was funny, but I personally didn't enjoy it. Everybody there in Italy was extremely nice, especially the workers at the place, because of course they have to be.
Yeah.
And we went on this one ride, and my friends were in front of me, and I was there were two girls between me and my friends,
Yeah.
and they started talking to my friends. There were two Italian girls. They didn't know.
Mhm.
They didn't know English at all. They were didn't. It was like, how? It's simple, but okay, they didn't know.
It's simple.
No,
Why don't you
it's
know English?
it's English. How hard could it be? And it's like, okay, they started talking because the girls actually started the conversation for some reason. Why do you
Yeah.
try to make the conversation if they don't know how to speak?
Maybe
Okay,
they're
but that's not the
practicing.
point. Yeah, they probably are, but the things they did later, it was just like, why? Okay, yeah. So they started talking. She was like, "What's your name?" This and that, and then
Hey, blah, blah,
just a
blah, blah.
conversation normal.
Oh no.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell my friend's name. I don't know because when would I? For I'm tired as well. Hold. Okay, they talk. My friend starts explaining to her that she doesn't know how to speak English, and she doesn't realize that's what he's saying. And she starts asking, "Is Italy good?" Yeah, and he said, "Of course it's good because Italy is great and Italy is good."
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, because that's how it works.
Yeah.
Um, but basically they talked until we got to the ride, and when we got to the ride, they went a seat in front of me and another friend. We were sitting
Yeah.
behind them, and we started going this this ramp because it's a roller coaster, goes up and then down and all around. But we go up and they just turn to the right and there's like the waiting line and they start screaming at the waiting line,
Oh,
and then they both
shit.
turn around and start hitting me and my friend. I'm like, what?
What?
And then they
Why
just stop
though?
hitting my friend and both start hitting me for some reason. I'm like, what did I do?
What did
You
you
don't know
do?
me.
What's
I
going
was
on?
just I was just cursing in Russian because that's what I do when I'm stressed.
Suka split. It's like, jeez.
They were hitting me on the head. I just put my hands up. I was like, "Pashu nahuy, kurva, suka, блядь." And then we just went on the drop, and they pulled out their phone and started recording themselves while they were on the ride. I was like, I swear to God, I'm gonna hit that phone out of your hand, boy. But I'm
Wow.
not that kind of a dick. So I just waited for them to record at the right time because there was a drop coming up that they were recording, and the
Mhm.
drop goes down, it goes around in a circle, but it's like it's putting you to the side, so you're like in an angle. So it's like, oh, you're gonna be recording this for sure. So the drop comes, they drop, and it starts spinning around. They're trying to hold on to the phone. The phone flies away. I'm so happy at that point. I'm
I
so happy.
saw it.
I'm like, when we get off, I'm like, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Adipidi, Bupidi, Bow, and we get off. It's fun.
Jeez.
Even though the first thing I said when we came on the ride with them, because I heard their conversation about Italy. Oh, another thing they did in the line, my friend was helping them count to 20 because they didn't know how to count to 15. I mean, they didn't know what 15 was, so he helped them count to 20.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were doing that, and I was like, okay, I guess he's teaching them how to count to 20 in English. That's great. It's always good when you can teach people that. Um,
20 is a very
yeah, their
important
phone.
number. You need it to order
Yeah, you need
20 scoops of ice cream.
loads of ice cream.
Yes. I don't
Just
know
loads.
what else you'd need the number 20 for other than counting $20 bills or like 20 chickens or 20 cows or I don't know. What are you doing and why? Nook is
Guys.
eating his microphone. That's gross.
Heck,
That's
if you're hungry, just
unsanitary.
go get a sandwich.
Stop.
Get
This isn't
20
ASMR.
pounds of ice
Stop. Help. Okay.
cream. Yeah.
Okay then.
So they actually found their phone because it was like to this next to the ride, but it
Oh.
was it was shattered, just like destroyed. Um, Yeah, that was fun. It was fun. And me and my friend, what we did on most of the rides, what we tried was act like the rides were terrible.
Why?
Like there were no fun. Like there were no fun. They weren't interesting,
Why would
even
you
though they
do such
were
a thing?
terrifying. They're terrifying because we wanted to look funny on the pictures. So on another ride, it was like another a lot of drops. There were like I don't know 2 drops, a lot of drops. That's 2 is a lot of drops.
Well,
So there
I
were
guess it is.
two
Yeah.
drops. They took pictures on both of them, and me and my friend, what we did was we looked like on the drop we were just talking and having a nice conversation while the whole thing just
That's
goes down.
perfect.
I know it was so good. And then we on the second one we were shaking hands. uh,
You guys should have like
that
high
was just like
fived or like
yeah, we did a lot of things.
that's great.
Or on one of them, the first time we went on them, we all showed okay signs,
Wow.
and
I
they
don't
were
know whether or not to be
because you
proud
have
of
a
you or not.
because they had a line for 4, so 4 people could sit next to each
Yeah.
other. So I had 4 friends. I mean, I had 3 friends. We all sat in that line, and we all holded okay signs.
Yes.
So that was pretty a okay. And
A
on the ride where
okay.
yeah, it was a okay. On the ride where the 2 Italian girls were hitting me, we showed like um boo, it was bad on the picture, so it looked like we were both holding thumbs down and being like it's bad. Even though it was really hard to hold your hand up to show the thumbs down because the G force is just like I gotta put my hands down, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. You have to show you have to show emotion, even though your hair looks funny when you see it. It's cool. It's cool rides. I liked it a lot.
That
It was
sounds
so
fun.
fun. Even on the ones where you were like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Why did I do this to myself?" You're like, you know what?
It
That
was
was
good.
actually flipping awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. It was so fun. I had so much fun.
That is good. I'm glad you had fun though. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's great when
It
you have
sounds
fun.
more cool
When
than like
this
Disney World. Even though like
I
I can't ride rides and neither can Nook or Square. Can't ride them either because we're a bunch of noobs. Square has a
oh,
fear of heights. I uh I bet
get
you I have
motion
heart
sickness.
problems or something.
His
I
head.
don't know. My
Oof.
anxiety is like kills me. Um I think it's just the fact that I get really anxious before too. And then when I do go on rides, I feel like a part of me is going away or separated from my body for a little bit. And then like it comes back with you and you like hit the floor at the very bottom drop or whatever. It's a really weird like way to explain things, but and then Nook just what is it with you, Nook?
Oh, I get lung lock. Basically, if I go on something that exceeds 2 or 3 Gs, I think it was, um, or if I basically I went to California and I got on a couple roller coasters there, and there's this one called Goliath, and it goes from like 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds, and it's like the fastest wooden roller coaster in the United States. And I got on it, and it went down, and I couldn't exhale or inhale. My lungs just locked up, and I could not breathe afterwards. It was kind of freaky. And I was like, oh, jeez, I don't want to die, you know? And then finally we get down to the bottom, and all those G's finally push the air out of my lungs, you know, all that G force. And I was able to take an inhale in before it went and did another drop. I was like, jeez. Yeah.
That's why we can't ride roller coasters.
I mean, I would do it
Oh,
again, even if I did get a lung lock. It was
Why?
oof.
fun. It was fun.
Oof.
Yeah,
Almost
of
dying
course.
is fun.
That's what it is. You're always like, oh my God, it's so
Adrenaline
scary, but
rush.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
Because adrenaline is fun.
Adrenaline
Yeah.
fun.
Adrenaline is cool. That's why you do it, boys.
That is
Yeah,
messing up.
when I go on the drops, is like the 90-degree drop. Everything just slows down, and then you
Oh.
realize, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Alex and Murphy. Yeah.
Alex and Murphy.
It's about time we hit the sack. Yeah.
I can't draw.
I already said like my real name. That's like been a thing now. The people have been asking me for my real name because they want to know. It's like, um, if you're gonna say it in English, it's Matic, so it sounds like Matic, and people start calling me Matic.
Fish.
Fish,
Haddock.
Oh,
Matic. It's with a
what?
M,
That shows how
Matic.
tired I am. So I am tired. I cannot lie. I am tired.
You are tired.
I am
You
tired.
see, you could say the tables have turned.
You're wearing an apron. Look, you're wearing an apron.
I
Look.
don't know why I'm trying
Because
to
you
clear
know
my
how to
throat like
cook,
that.
and you are the person who does the cooking.
Oof.
Why? This thing is being stupid. Like, I click down to draw, but it doesn't like register the stroke of like the pencil. And then like, so then it doesn't draw. Then I get sad that it doesn't draw. But it's okay. So now we're just like here, doing
Yeah.
nothing. And the score's like, Wreck-It Ralph! And I have no idea what even's going on. But yeah, we've been having like issues with, what is it, transportation and what else? Monies, I guess. I guess
Monies.
that counts. Yeah.
We all need lots of the monies.
Which one would be me? I'm debating whether it's this one or this one because I like pie. Well, it doesn't even have to be pie. It can be like what, lasagna, right? You know what lasagna is, Murphy?
Of course, I know what lasagna is.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you like
No,
it a
don't.
lot? Wait,
Of course, I
what's
like
the
it a lot,
food
but
that everyone loves a lot though? Like mac and cheese. I like mac and cheese a lot.
spaghetti.
It should be spaghetti. Should I make it spaghetti, Nook?
Sure.
Do you have very good spaghetti?
I like steak a lot because steak is good. It's very good. I like it medium
Oh,
rare. 'Cause
it's look,
it's very
I'm just running my finger over the pen and it's registering it. That's creepy.
wow.
Oh, wait, you can
How
actually see what's going on. Sad. Uh-oh. I went too far. I've gone too far. I did it. I fixed it. I'm good.
this is fun.
Yes. Okay, I found it. I can share screens. That way you can see what I'm doing.
I'm happy that it's me who's the guy. I mean, it's me that now who has the energy, and you're the people
Oh,
that
yeah.
don't have the energy because it's usually the opposite.
The other way around. Yep. That is basically how it is. You
So
know, we're
I
like
have the
we're the
power.
ones dying and like suffering. And you're like, "Hey guys, what a wonderful day today. Let's let's go out and
Yes.
like smell the birds and like eat the flowers."
Smell the birds. Gotta go smell the
Smell the
birds and
birds
eat the
and eat the
flowers.
flowers. Do you want to go to
I'm
sleep?
gonna go pet my dog, smell the birds, and eat
Oh.
the flowers.
Okay, here, before you go to
That-
sleep, which one is me?
That actually seems like a thing. It's
This one? Okay,
hmm.
no, I'm this one.
It's the one that has the face that is furry.
The furry. No, that's Nook. So,
It is the one that is looking at the pie.
yeah, so this would be me. Oh my gosh, I know what to
If
do.
it's not one, it's the other.
I know what to do for me. Look, it's gonna be like this. It's gonna say ooh. Can you see on his face? That's like
Who are the other people though?
I don't know. I'm wondering if you're this one or like any of these two. I'm not gonna be like squished or something.
The one in the background seems like me, just a little bit confused, a little bit
You're concerned.
can say.
Excuse me, sir. Are you aware that people are trampling each other trying to get your lasagna? Have you seen that game? Somebody touching my spaghetti.
Oh my
Where
god!
you
Of
like
course,
smack the
who has this?
spaghetti in order to live? Question
Man, you know which lasagna is the best lasagna?
I don't know. The all
Mom's
lasagna,
lasagna.
lasagna?
No, the lasagna okay. Lasagna is the greatest lasagna that ever was.
Like a cheese lasagna, lasagna.
Could you make? I wonder, could you make a lasagna
That's a lot
and
of
make a big lasagna and put the lasagna in the bigger lasagna,
I mean, there's
and
this
then
thing.
put those lasagnas in a bigger lasagna?
There's this
Or
thing
would
called a
that just
turducken.
count as a lasagna?
Hey, that picture you're drawing, can I be the one being stomped on?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's where.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, what?
Cause I'm busy watching H stuff and reacting to it and squealing to it.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Oh, just
No.
squeal in the.
I was like fangirling over
It's okay,
everything.
Don't worry about it. We're fine. Squeal about Fluffy Sora.
Fluffy Sora.
Fluffy Sora.
Meow.
What's
I
that one
have
meme?
like no words
Yeah.
today.
Oh no, when you yell at the egg. Meow.
He goes meow. Yep.
Woof. Work.
What did the egg ever do to him?
It was made.
It was laid.
Ooh, that was better than my joke.
Jeez, that's savage. Egg.
Egg.
So you want to go and being
Egg.
squished?
Yeah.
So
Squished.
Murphy's this one over here. And he's like, what's going on?
What's going on here? And you can literally say breakfast.
Magic.
Breakfast.
Breakfast.
No, not
What's going on here?
Beverage.
No beverage. No beverage.
Breakfast. Ooh, I could go for a lasagna. Okay, as I was saying about the lasagna, if you put a lasagna
Whoa!
into a lasagna, would that just be a bigger lasagna, or would it just be a lasagna tasting like lasagna?
It would be a big
Yeah.
lasagna. I know from
Yeah.
experience.
You know from experience.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
But I was
No,
like,
I try
what
to
is,
do like the okay symbol.
what if it was like in the middle? It was like a small lasagna, but it had a piece of lasagna in the middle. It was a lasagna that had lasagna in it, and then it was a bigger lasagna outside.
Anymore.
Yeah, it would still be a bigger lasagna.
I know, but could be like
And
Yeah, it-
regardless, they could both be
Look at him
separate
jump
from
on
each other,
rocks.
but they would be lasagna tasting lasagnas. Because lasagna
what if
tastes.
a lasagna eats another lasagna? Would that just be a bigger lasagna still?
Hey,
No,
Or
that
would,
lasagna would be alive, and you might think twice about having it in your house.
Poor lasagna.
aha, but if it was big enough to eat lasagna in one bite, could it be that
wait, then
dangerous
it's
to kill it?
the lasagna where we eat it in one bite. Isn't that still lasagna? Or is it lasagna? It's a small lasagna in one bite. So
It's big lasagna where it eats small lasagna. I'm confused about if big lasagna would eat a human and kill them, even though that would be accurate.
Accurate.
Accurate because
Accurate.
it,
Accurate.
I'm so happy.
Acupuncture.
Accurate.
Apricot.
No, I'm trying to do the Kanye, whoever it was that said accurate.
Donald Trump. No, I'm kidding.
Whoa.
But could the lasagna like eat a human and kill him? Does it have fluids?
So long as the other human doesn't like eating lasagna, then yes.
I
like
feel like
eating
this
How
is
does
lasagna.
that
hard.
count in if the human
Look, you
doesn't
can
Because
make
like
if
a
the
it?
human gets
perfecto
eaten
lasagna.
by the lasagna, the human can eat their way out of the lasagna.
Yes,
Yes, they can.
But I'm wondering if the lasagna could like do some war magic and kill the human.
Where does each
The
body
ball.
go? His like
Oh,
body
go on the
disappears
ball.
right here.
You can kill things with the ball.
Wait.
They will die.
He's not a thick boy. That's why his body is.
No. Cause look, okay, there's one body right here, and this leg from this person.
And he's just getting red.
But this leg like this.
Why don't you take a measuring tape and measure the body
That
of
leg
the
is
person? And the
I'm
leg is
saying
broken.
this is that leg from this person. Look what I did.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I
Not
forgot
bad.
where each leg is from.
That's
It's
a
on
big
the
boy.
little Spider-Man.
Look.
Come on, you can see the legs there.
One day when I'm actually more awake, I'm gonna face this correctly. Oh wait, your hair would be squashed though. This. Extra, who are
Viv's there.
There's random people that try.
This is
Viv,
all
which one
the
would you?
sparkly
Which one would
eyes,
you
huh?
be? The little dudes here. The starry-eyed one or the other one?
Okay.
The other one doesn't have stars around.
Oh, the one that doesn't have stars.
Man, I look like a budget cartoon character.
You do.
I don't even know what happened to me. It looks like I'm being teleported into a dimension of pain.
You're coughing. You're dead. Huh?
No pain is as strong as the. And we have to
Manly
do
apron.
that.
What do you want, manly apron?
Yes.
Yummy apron.
No, but you're precious.
Just right, kiss the cookie.
I
and
was
you'll be
gonna
happy.
write that.
You'll be
Dang it,
happy.
you read my mind.
Look, no. Get like
Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
I'm not putting
Bro.
frills.
dude,
Oh, or my ears are longer.
Oh, like, you like your ear grew. Your actual
No, why is
uh,
What do you want now? What do you want
I'm
now? It's not time for bed. Oh, it's not.
I can't grow ears.
Or
What is
you
this
grew
source
more
you
ears.
speak of? More ears. Better to hear you with, my dear.
Nook is dead inside.
You get,
I can
you
just
guys are
imagine
funnier
this
when
grandma with like 6 or 7 years old on her
Why?
edge. Like, it's just like really freaking me out right now. I'm gonna have my ears
How
like,
many ears do you have?
25.
25. No, you know what's better?
That's the round
24.
sound.
So this one is Nook.
Oh,
Comment, Vince.
let me tell you,
Saffron.
if you had 25 years, you could say you have surround
this one
sound.
isn't
Ha ha
saffron.
ha, Bork.
It's the
I
owl.
applaud this.
Who's this one? Oh,
Plot
this is me and
twist.
Murphy for some reason.
The feet.
I like
My
saying
turn.
saffron, even though it's wrong.
Saffron.
Saffron.
Chef Ramsay.
Saffron.
Chef Ram.
Saffron. She's like, what? You're like, hi. She just scoffs and then like, okay, fine.
Hey, what's your guys' favorite food? What do you guys like
Spaghetti.
eating?
I love lasagna. That's what I'm like,
Okay.
should it be spaghetti or should it be lasagna though?
Spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Right on
Saffron?
his apron, somebody touch my spaghetti.
Oh, even the whole spaghetti.
Yeah, right, somebody touch my spaghetti.
My favorite food is chicken lungs baked in something. I'm not sure what it is. I forgot what it is. In English, at least. I was saying shit is about the Italians in English, even though I don't.
Flour, it's 3 floofs.
3 floofs. Oh, okay. I'm gonna color it in. Don't worry.
Yeah, you
Heck.
do. Me too.
For some reason, I thought it was 2.
No.
I'm looking at your really tiny little Skype.
But yours aren't in the picture.
They are?
Flower,
No,
you
my
forgot
Skype.
Oh,
you forgot to give me hair.
oh,
I am just wolf.
Oh, there my ears.
you are basic wolf.
I am I'm just wolf without hair, so I don't get hair. I am just wolf.
He's background wolf.
Okay,
I'm just
hold it. I don't
perfect.
know what your hair looks like actually. I think like you look like more standard like cartoon characters.
Sup, folks? I'm like Kiki, but I don't have the
Well,
annoying
I feel like
voice.
this would be this like trying to go on top of you. The one with the starry eyes.
She's like the one with the starry eyes. Because she's in her rebellious teenage phase right now, so she's
Oh,
more
true.
depressed than me.
Oh,
heck.
savage, I guess.
I went through that phase, and I didn't cut myself.
I'm proud of you,
I
son.
don't know what the man with the mustache does.
Thank you.
Thank
It
you,
works
Mom.
kind of.
My hand has never looked more cut up than right now because
This is
my
sketchy
dog
still.
Maybe it's because you slapped spaghetti too hard.
blew me. Yes, of course. The spaghetti it cuts your arm. But it's
It will
rigged.
slice you.
You guys actually know how to make spaghetti.
Yes.
It's fucking great. I mean, it's hacking great when you make it yourself because it's when you make it yourself, it's 3 times better than if someone else makes it. At least that's for me. How much water do you add?
How does tail work?
So much detail.
His tail.
Yours.
You know.
What is
Mine? What are you doing?
That's not how tails work.
It's not even a tail. It looks like a skinny leg.
I know. I have
Skinny jeans.
it's just like.
Don't rush. Don't worry, you have time.
What time do I have?
It's a shirt.
I'm gonna turn it around because I don't
I don't want
think
your friends go to
Wait,
very
wait,
distant.
example.
Shake the dog and the
Yes.
Yes. Come on, watch. You can.
Where is it happening?
It's fun.
I just have it over here.
What's up with your nose?
Oh, shit. Don't worry.
I'm very worried about like
Don't
an ear.
worry about it.
Don't worry.
Breast and ear.
It's not in here.
Better to hear you.
No. It's not
Yes,
in
you don't do it
here.
on me. There.
Is that better?
Okay. Well, it had. I think you have 2 nostrils to breathe. So.
What did you say? The bitch smell you.
She didn't hear me talking and just went. We're talking about nose and ear.
I can smell you with a beard.
What conversations are you having?
Wait, whenever
She
it's
should
weird.
match an ear with nostril. I can't breathe.
Whose nostrils used to be those?
I don't want to smell you like this.
Ew, gross.
No. No, Piss. No.
Have you ever tasted?
No.
What is it?
You're talking about earwax.
I remember what it
Oh,
looks like.
my belly hurts.
It smell nice, especially. Oh, somebody
So
bought
what's equals chicken?
Birds do smell nice.
Dear.
So chicken.
I'm pain. I'm crying.
Yo,
Uh,
it's not like Mr. Red. Oh, it's very slowly, but surely.
2 plus
Doing this.
2 equals chicken.
Cake's good. Cake is great.
Oh,
Oh.
I stopped there because I thought I was wrong for a little bit.
On this picture, I just look like I don't have eyes.
Why no?
I'm too low budget for my own good.
No, that's her old rep sheet.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to the other one.
That one?
I'm going to do the cool kid.
Oh, she's gonna be very happy.
Why?
I'm not talking about you, you disappointment.
That's
dare
sad.
you?
That's me.
Oh! Oh, what was that? Oh! You wanna fight me, Viz?
What's
Let
going
me
on?
won me on Skullgirls.
Bruh.
Let's go.
I think we're gonna
Cause
have a tough
I told
battle.
her she was a disappointment, and then she turns to me and she goes, says the disappointment herself.
Oof.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh, is this how you talk to your
You're-
elders?
Like
You're-
you're
You
you're
taught
just-
her.
Oh, why thank you. Oh, I did teach her. Well, then,
You
Did you hear
have
that?
some nice conversations there. Hey,
he's my sibling. What did you
Flower.
expect?
Yes.
Flower, realize what you've done?
No.
You've made me free art.
It's really
Oh,
amazing.
it's Friday.
Oh, true.
You just made me a low budget character. Dude. I'm going to copyright that. I'm gonna use it
You
to
can't
make my
copyright.
great escape.
Great Escape. Why is it gonna be called a Great Escape?
Because it needs to have an 8 in it.
There is.
Yes. And because it's my new series, The Great Escape.
It's about
Mate.
Sadie escaping from the kitchen.
No, it's about It's basically a way out, but it's a great escape.
What?
Uh,
Oh, I don't even know.
I if I'm gonna make a joke, I'm gonna use that.
Why? They're gonna be like, what in the world?
People already look at me like what in the world, so why don't make it better?
I keep thinking there's hills
Well,
of
you have a
dandelion.
rocket.
No, it's not a dandelion.
No, you know what's
Look
annoying with
at the
people?
music on that thing.
People know what furries are, right? And you friend people
Yeah.
calling you furry because they know you're a furry, and then you go out with your friends and they're like, furry, come here, and the person's like, you're a furry. I'm like, why?
Why?
It's like,
Why
I have
say-
you. Bro, it's not your name.
I
Flower.
know,
Flower, you're
I'm
tired. Go
tired.
to sleep.
I'm tired.
Is your armpits under your eyebrows?
Your armpits are not under your eyebrows. They're fucking
Well, they're lower, but they're not right under your eyebrows.
I think she's even
I'm
Because
listening to everything at once. I
Technically,
can't
they
do
are
this.
under your eyebrows, right?
They're not under your eyebrows, but they are technically under your
Your
eyebrows.
armpits are under your eyebrows.
Next stream, call it that.
What?
Should we name this stream?
I can.
Armpits are under your eyebrows.
Wait, hold on.
Why not call it that?
I mean, we are
What do you
talking
mean,
about
no?
that.
Yes. I
That's a
named
good
my
point.
stream that.
What'd you name your stream?
Because why not?
Well, you're a rebel.
No, my sister's the rebel.
Your fingers.
Your sister. My sister's a girl.
My sister's a girl.
My sister, is a
Is-
scrub.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Man, shut
The
up.
lip scrub. I remember when that was thing, guys.
I'm a scrub.
My sister loves art stuff.
I'm a scrub.
Your sister, like younger than you.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't have a sister.
Look at
You
me,
have a
I'm
brother.
15, and she's 9, 10. Wait a minute. She's 11. I almost forgot my sister's age.
Okay, don't worry about it. It happens all the time.
Forget my
She
own
just
age.
Yeah,
comes to the
but
door,
all of us
she's
would say
like,
that.
I'm 11, so shut up.
Do you know there's a visibility? No. Do you know there's a visibility? So, no one is doing that?
Hey guys, I'm thinking about
Uh-huh.
visiting like America one day.
Yeah.
Should I? What do you recommend?
A place where there's no natural disasters or tornadoes.
Texas.
Oh, true. Well,
Texas.
basically.
No natural disasters in Texas.
Well, if you stay away from the coast,
Hoo-wee.
yeah.
Okay. Where should I go into?
What is a cool kid place?
Austin's pretty cool. It's very
No.
humid there.
I don't know any cool places. Oh, San
I
Antonio.
just
That,
said
no, that's a cool place. What's it looking at?
What's there? Food.
They have watching games there. San Antonio. Oh, I'm trying out the map. Oh, no, he's got the map. Just one of these.
I just want a sandwich.
That's great.
I should make myself a sandwich.
Who should that empty person be then?
Hmm.
I'm sorry, I just realized that
That's
because
one thing. Read.
this is our old friend knows. It
Uh,
would be Becca cook. Probably me still trying to get the food and using twice.
yeah, we
Yeah.
the same place because of a failure.
Not a failure.
Yeah,
And
features.
$15
You can
a
take
year.
here.
It's okay. It's something.
I don't care. I rub it.
I rub it. I don't care.
I cast my car into the bridge. I don't care.
Say it the most monotone way. Okay.
Footless.
Number 15. Dun, 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 dun.
So, I guess I'll just.
Why you
What's
boy
this?
make a
Let's
big
forget
noise playing this
we're
week
done.
gonna be a big man someday. Got mud on your face, it is great. Kicking your can all over the place. Singing, we will.
Yes.
Just, oh, it's a spaghetti monster.
I'm a spaghetti
Spaghetti.
monster.
Spaghetti.
Bye.
Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Bye. Love
Arrivederci.
much. Good night.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Arrivederci.
take two.
Tschüss.
Au revoir.
Oh, I would do heart. That's heart.
Aloha.
Heart. He doesn't have a persona though.
Make him one.
He says he wants to be a red panda mixed with a rabbit.
Oh, and I'll do
A red rabbit.
I mean, it's just a sketch anyway.
Just
A red rabbit.
red rabbit. Red rabbit.
Or just
Right
like
now.
just blank person.
I still can't figure out where even the artwork on that other one. Jeez.
I have a red panda. I have a red panda right here. Look at it. Its face is beautiful. Squish.
Yeah, I
No.
will.
Flower, just do like a blank person and just write the word on the face.
I will.
Yes. Yes.
Put
That is
two
a
ears.
great idea. You truly have talent.
No, I just remember the Flipnote Studio, the Flipnote Antenna, where people like did a blank person. They have like word of who the person was written in the face.
Those are the greatest thing.
Those were the greatest things.
Greetings, I have a red panda right here. I'm so bored.
Oh, that's cute.
See, it's light outside. I'm mourning in his face fan. Hello, panda.
Oh, that is
It's cute. Look,
Panda.
he has red panda sheep.
I do have a red panda.
look.
It's falling. It's dead.
Oh, he did.
I should go outside, but
It's 11.
Oh, that
Should
way
use
she
your
used her
response.
persona.
Oh, it's so small.
it is real small. It's also
I
real
think
fun.
Split
It's
up
my chair.
bad.
Do 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 do
My
do
nose is very face
do do
for a little bit.
do do do
What are you doing? This is hard.
do 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 do.
Please
I have a
write
chair.
to me. It's not right heart.
So
Wow.
I have to use my arm to draw.
And my heart starts pumping. Chicken, 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 wow. Never gonna stop you, tell me that I love you.
Are you okay?
Sorry, like sometimes that song gets like my head randomly. It's just a rewatch season for me.
Wow.
That's
Okay, I have to
wow.
watch it.
Wow, it's like you did something.
Wow. How is that possible?
I don't know.
Siri.
Really.
Siri.
You wrote the word wrong.
I don't know how to do the words. They don't
Just straight across the face.
don't like it like that.
Okay, then.
No, I don't like it.
Why do you have a long ear?
Because the red had like a bunny, remember?
Yeah, but like he doesn't know how the design's gonna yet. He hasn't done it yet.
Dude, don't worry. The design. It's hard. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
You're making something.
Where's your leg? You got no legs.
You made my like
You don't likes to make food.
Where's your tail?
just make like a fin tail with like fluff,
I did it.
but it's so spiky.
Look at my little sorcerer.
Okay, I'm not gonna worry
You
about.
totally rock. Leg.
Okay, hold up. Your body's here, so then your foot is right here. Yeah,
Just make dash lines. It's easier.
don't
Like
worry about
with the
it. Heart is scaring me.
more you're saying more about swing. Hey, the picture like a land
Don't
entrance.
Testing is your fox shit, and they're the cuss. And
Hey,
great.
I took a picture of a turtle. Use the turtle like a picture of woo turtle.
Swear, my turtle died. Oh yeah, yes, I had a turtle, but I know. But I guess I didn't even know I had it. Rip. Okay, hold up. I got this. I gotta like. Okay.
Got you, bow wow.
Treat.
That's what my baby said. Meow, meow,
Meow,
meow. My
meow,
heart starts
meow.
pumping. Chicka, chicka, choo, wow. Never gonna stop.
Stop.
You mean that I love you.
Love
A-G-L-E-T.
Have I ever told you that I was thinking L-A-D-L-E in Play-Doh?
Why?
What?
How you spell Del?
It's a ladle is like a spoon.
See, that's
thing.
their landline.
It's a spoon thing you use on getting soup.
Spooning.
No, it's
So
for
getting
you're
soup.
It's for
how to
getting
eat
soup.
soup with a
But
spoon.
instead of aglet,
I would use a spoon.
I always think no, it's like a big spoon. It's a soup spoon. It's like a big
No.
thing.
It's just called
It's a-
an ultra spoon.
But it's a fork made for soup.
No, it's not fork.
A super spoon?
Fork soup.
Okay, well, anyway, I can think L-A-D-L-E. It's a little bit aglet. So
No,
remember
no,
aglet.
aglet.
Exactly.
But aglets.
I know. I'm sad.
Listen, aglet is like the end of the
Yeah.
I said sh. What?
Look at what you cycle. Cameron. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
I'm chasing the cat. The cat chases me.
Minx? Yeah.
No,
Minx
you know
will
who
kill
talks to you? You run like 3 years ago.
you. You
Yeah,
run like
you.
Goofy when he glitched and he's swimming around.
He's glitching to me.
I don't have any eyes.
Neither do I.
I don't need eyes because they're closed.
You should make yours
I
like
don't
dots,
know.
like real dots, concentrating on the lasagna to make it like funny.
Oh,
At least I want to see.
the uwu.
I want to see.
Ew,
I want
ew.
to see. Oh, you meant that. Oh,
I think I
I
can
think you're saying earlier.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of the nose then if I want to do an uwu.
second those are your ear.
Oh
Wasn't that? Reach.
Get
Red.
rid of this nose.
I think mine was slowly coming back.
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot you. I was tired this whole time.
And in the morning, as soon as you called, you actually woke me up. You went to sleep. I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
want to sleep for long. I didn't want to sleep for too long. Then you woke me up, so I guess I slept for a little while then. So basically, I tried to say something and I instantly realized, hold up, I can't say anything.
Oof.
What's going on? Because then I took it off my headphones and I tried saying hello just to them all because that's what I do when I try to test my voice. And
Hello.
it's so hard. I said hello to my wall because my wall is really cool. I like my wall. It keeps me
Nice.
safe from the outside world.
That is very true.
That they do.
We must thank our walls for
My
existence.
walls hug us every day. Just realize.
We're all like native. We're not.
You
Like,
guys
Hmm.
live in so they're closed. I mean, I have a bow tie, but like, you can't see it because I'm being squished against
Yeah, so.
the
Do
floor.
you
I like-
Like a dog guy.
I usually like wearing hoodies. You know what I do? I like wearing hoodies, but then I put the sleeves up, so I like destroy the purpose of having like long sleeve. I do that the same thing with long sleeve shirts. I put sleeves up, so I just ignore the purpose that they're actually done for, and that's having long sleeves. I roll up the sleeves and everything because that's what I do. So I'll be wearing my hoodie with short sleeves because that's what I roll up sleeves. Sleeves being roll up is my chocolate bar.
Okay, you got like darkness inside of you.
No, okay.
Is it like, should I color your hair? Should I not color your hair?
I mean, just use the gray color that I am. So if I made myself like I won't be able to line on the gray.
Yeah.
Can't do the eye dropper.
I took like on my.
Flash,
It's dead. Like look at all this. Like the grease like here.
No, you're not gonna drawing tomorrow.
No, I look at you.
You're gonna wake up tomorrow. What's this? You're like, when did I draw this? Me.
What better day like with this?
Yes. Wait, I don't know.
Squish, squish, squish and squash. I don't know.
I have to draw the
In
mouth too
eighth grade
sometimes.
class, just sat on hat.
She's not my lover. She's just a girl. She says I won, but the kid is mine.
Like darkness on his ears. He never told me about. But I don't remember if it's like.
Wow, we've been talking for 2 hours. Not my love.
What if I were turned into a hat?
Don't
I'm watching
say
page 3 playing.
Put something
There's
back
something
on
though.
She's
I'm
my
like,
love. She's a girl. She says I won,
Oh,
but
I need to
she
switch
is mine.
this one.
oh, so, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
When am I gonna go sleep?
could you make me
You
disappear
need,
this
you need to
time?
slip.
You want to do a slip?
Oh,
Alligators
I'm
is
not
in a
watching
snake.
Kingdom Hearts. No,
Get off the interwebs, you dumb
I'm
one.
not off the internet. No, it's,
why is this happening? I don't know what to do. Like,
but he just got slapped across the face by that person.
I did it. I brought myself off. Oh, no.
You're gonna look at it and be like,
Yeah.
why did I do this?
Because I was tired.
That's usually
You
the
just
thing.
draw some cheese.
She got some cheese. No, you have to put watermark. You have to like put your name on it as
I'll
well.
write my name, I guess.
Yeah.
Or you just only
Saffron
write the name.
cheese
Did you write the name? Whatever.
Oh, no, I
I
didn't write that one. I got some cheese here.
Yes,
Why is this not
consumer of cheese.
Look,
Because you have to deny.
you got
just see
yours.
it on naked. Actually,
Don't wear clothes when in uniform.
Yarn and form.
yes.
Oh, and draw some pants on me or something.
Heck,
You get
Actually have-
freeze.
you know your picture on Skype. I have every piece of clothes except the tie. I could be wearing more clothes.
No, never mind.
No.
And plus, people say so. It
Totally correct.
That's what she think.
has extra room for the
For-
bosom area.
Yes, and guess what I have? I have a big buzz.
Let's go.
I have,
Okay, there, you're close. I don't know
my-
part.
and I am always the good kind of thick. Okay, so I
I'm not
did.
talking about that area, I'm talking about the bosom area.
Yeah, I'm talking about the area.
Your eyes don't reach that eye.
No, not size. What is it? What it color? Why are you?
Because it says no.
Because what?
It says no.
It says no. No. Just
No.
deny.
No. Why not? The sun is a deadly laser.
Oh, where's that from?
How did you forget where that's from?
I'm
It was
tired.
the biggest deal last year.
You know, I like. Oh, the world, the whole.
It's the entire world. You
I
didn't watch
did
it.
watch it. And then,
Still half of it.
no, actually, a little bit.
Then it's really-
I'm tired, dude. Yeah, I can't even type. I'm tired.
Can't even type.
I can't even reach your bed. I'm gonna fall asleep right here after I turn off the stream.
I found it great.
I'm so
Sounds
tired.
great.
I'm gonna go take beef. No, she's
From the
not.
cheesier and consumer mission.
Consumer. Nutrition.
She's a girl with he says I am the one. The key is my song.
Okay, is my diet like white now? This is good. What have I done with life? Guys,
You have a sid.
You've made the part.
I really worried because it was gone. Okay, I'm gonna pilot somebody touching my spaghetti.
Touching my spaghetti.
Yes. Somebody.
Nook, touch my spaghetti.
No, because
Yes.
Nook is the one who made it. Somebody look
Yeah,
at
he
my
touched it.
spaghetti.
Somebody looked at my spaghetti.
What day is today? It's not one's birthday. One day for a birthday. Now let's all go to sleep. It's not
What
the
day?
first. It's the 19th. It's also
9
Maybe.
peas.
19th.
I heard 9 peas. Where'd you get 9 peas from?
What? Alligators. It's gonna be 3 a.m. for you. 3 a.m.
No,
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
it's gonna be two, one, one. One
Yeah, it's gonna be one.
It's gonna be one. No,
It's
American time. I know American time is say six
No,
hours
we're
behind.
different though, because we live in the mountains. Oh, I forgot Nook's thing out.
Yeah, like my clock says like
I'm done.
12:40 something. So it's going to be one soon.
So, thanks for
So it's different. Thanks
Perhaps.
for hanging around.
yeah,
Let me
Bark,
tell
bark,
you
bark.
something. Bork, woof, woof, bork.
work.